a month, and if there's enough of us, I'm thinking that could pay for us to have a place for a couple of hours on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
And in the case of Columbia, there was a big enough group, and it was.
We can get it for free.
Yeah, free would be great. Yeah, free would be great. And so I don't know. We kicked around the idea like, well, what's happening at Drury, because Aiden has some connections to Drury. I live right by Drury.
They've added a lot of club sports.
I live by Nichols Park.
Yeah. And they've added like lacrosse and rugby and all sorts of other things to bring in like sports clubs.
But the question with the college, like campuses, is will they let people from the outside?
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can tell you this: when I moved here and I found out that Evangelista was no longer doing MSU, the fencing club, and that kind of fell apart. And I guess there's some sort of political thing going on there too. I don't know. I don't want to get involved in that. But I did talk to last year. I talked to the director of student activities, and he said, "Look, we'd love to have a fencing instructor, but their new policy is that it's all got to be like student oriented and operated.
So they have to start it.
So they have to start it. Now, my wife's a professor there, and I could go and hang brochures and flyers and see if we can't generate interest. But I also don't feel like we have to do that. That does present kind of like a fluid kind of population of people coming and going. I'm okay with that. But of course, I've been trying to find out, well, who's interested and how many and how serious are they, So I don't know. I mean, if you guys are willing to spread the word and you have people that are, that you're friends with who are interested, bring them by. What do you guys think is fair about the whole dues thing? If we agree that we're going to form a club and work towards having a place to meet if necessary, that is fee-based. Because if we get something for free, no problem. I mean, I guess the only issue there would be liability. And I have liability forms, I did this with high school students for years, right? So there's like some rules and liability issues to deal with. But what do you think?
So there is a HEMA Alliance, is a educative oriented nonprofit. Is HEMA.
Yeah.
So I think classical fencing falls into.
Yeah, it does, particularly small sword.
And they know Martinez School, for example. They probably know Columbia.
Yeah.
If you get your membership with them, which is like 20-something year, then you just have to work out
20-something a year.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
You get insurance, right?
And you get insurance, but you have to do some stuff with it.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can get the ball rolling on that.
HEMA,
That's cool.
and I can give you all the information from HEMA Alliance.
That would be great.
Yeah, I affiliated myself. I'm a lifetime member with
Yeah.
HEMA Alliance. So every club of HEMA here, minus Cola San George, because they have their own thing with price, they are like a HEMA Alliance affiliate.
That's cool.
And they're like, you do your thing.
Yes.
Be respectful.
Yeah.
They have some bylaws and stuff like that, but they are like very open.
Yeah.
Do they have like a space that essentially you just go to and?
No, it's like an organization.
They have a website. They have a instructor certification program.
Yeah.
I mean, like a physical space.
No.
Like,
It's just.
Oh no, it's like an online thing.
Yeah, it's an
okay,
organization that provides like ground
But
rules.
I
It
see.
started in the U.S.
Yeah.
So it was like all ARMA members, which was long-standing HEMA group, and other HEMA enthusiasts. They just jump in and let's do our own thing.
Yeah.
Let's get insurance for everyone. Let's do it. They just did it like 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have been really nice. They have this thing called Weekend and Tour, which is like a non-profit based wiki page, and it's one of the largest databases on historical sources.
Yeah, of all those different languages, translations.
Yeah, they have small sort.
Yeah.
This is the HEMA website?
Yeah.
That's affiliated to the HEMA Alliance.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'll look it
Because
up.
there are like various HEMA umbrella organizations.
Yeah.
But HEMA Alliance is one of the friendliest ones.
Yeah. Fortunately, the people in Columbia are just fantastic, easygoing people who really know their stuff and are there because they want to be good fencers and share that.
Yeah.
And egos were not involved.
Would
which
it
is
be
really
okay
rare.
to extend to you, like to sponsor you as an instructor?
Yeah.
So we can bring Columbia School of Classical Fencing.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
Well,
be awesome.
I guess it wouldn't be Colombian.
Well, so my friends in Columbia, they absolutely said when they suggested, well, hey, there's not a lot happening in classical fencing, start your own club. They said, hey, get a group together and we'll come down, or
that's the
get a
thing, they
group
start
together, or
visiting each
we'll
other.
you know
It's like,
welcome them up to Columbia. I mean, it's about a 3-hour drive.
Yeah.
But there's
oh,
definitely that possibility.
just a 3-hour drive from Springfield?
Yeah.
It's like directly in the middle of
Super
the
nice.
state.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
spec center.
Yeah.
Because right now, Schola San George is on Alabama, where Brian Price lives. And the people I know, they're like either on Kansas City
Yeah.
or Florida.
Yeah.
Really far.
Yeah, no,
God.
Columbia's not that.
Utah.
Yeah, not
The
that
drive
far.
from Florida is like 11
Puerto
hours.
Rico.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
Try swimming to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but look, I don't have an ego about this. I don't claim to be the expert or a master. But I mean the stuff that I know well. Not that I'm the best at doing it.
You got a patch.
Well,
Yeah, you got a patch.
I think you're a pretty good teacher.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I know how to teach. Teaching physical stuff is a little bit different than what I do every day. But I'll do good by you. And I don't, like I say, I don't have an ego. My experience has been that oftentimes egos are a big issue in classical fencing and in HEMA. That's just not how I operate. I mean, hey, if we're here because we're interested and we all want to learn, let's just help each other out.
Usually the
Yeah.
community is really nice.
Yeah.
Mellow.
Yeah.
Kind of
which is great.
camaraderie about it, learning something together.
Yeah.
But they can be very competitive.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, healthy competition, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys know about the small sword project too?
The what?
Well, you know about that, right? But
Yeah, I know about that.
yeah, I know
I
you
know
know
about
about that.
that.
So that's another way to attract attention to this, because you spread the word.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the connection.
Yep.
You know, it was like we see classical fencing. I knew from before the small sword project,
Well, both of those are.
but
huge.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah.
it was him.
Oh,
Well, that's
right,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
started
didn't make the
small sword.
connection.
Yeah, I did. I started that.
And you started
years
in
ago.
Colombia. You started when you moved here.
Yep. So, the hope is if we had a good group of people that get foil principles down, if you guys wanted, the next weapon could be small sword, because there are a lot of very similar principles. Because remember, foil ends up being the practice weapon for the small sword,
Ah,
right? Now, over time, it's evolved into its own thing,
Right, yeah.
right? Just like sport fencing has evolved into its own thing. The only drawback with that is, just so that you can like plant the seed and be thinking about it, it's kind of hard to get a good quality practice small sword, right?
Would you be open to experiment with rapier, for example?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I mean, you're the person that knows that, right?
No, I don't do rapier.
Oh, okay.
I do scissor.
Okay.
I stop in scissor.
Okay.
But if someone has more experience on
Absolutely.
rapier, I will jump in.
Yeah. Now,
you
the thing-
mentioned like having to make your own small swords and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, yeah. Like assembling parts, putting things together. It's just like getting the appropriate. They call it furniture. Like all these parts for a small sword can be expensive. There are though some recent developments though, and there are people who are trying to get a good